What's up, guys? It's the JT Report here, back with my 2018 through 2019 NBA season preview. And today we are here with my 14th ranked team, the San Antonio Spurs. Now, back when we were talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, I talked about some teams that had some drama in the offseason. And if you're an NBA fan, you know exactly who I'm talking about when I talk about the San Antonio Spurs offseason drama dealing with their best player, one of the top 5 players in the world, in Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi wants out of San Antonio, and they're trying to find a trade for him. And it's made a whole mess of the offseason, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. At the end of the day, though, they're still going to have LaMarcus Aldridge. They're still going to have a stacked bench, and they're still going to have Greg Popovich. So whatever happens, I think that, the Spurs are going to be fine, and I don't think they have anything to worry about. I think they will make the playoffs. But, you never know how drama can affect a team's chemistry. So that's why I have them as the 8th seed. I think they could be way higher. They could be, they could lose out to the Timberwolves or the Nuggets. We'll just have to wait and see. And if you know what they did in the offseason, first of all, in the draft, they got Lonnie Walker, who has a ton of potential. And knowing Greg Popovich, he's going to turn Lonnie Walker into an all-star. So it'll just be a couple more years to see what he becomes. But I think they actually made a good pick by selecting Lonnie Walker. He has decent offensive potential. He's decent on defense. But the thing is about it, he is very athletic. And when you have a very athletic player, you can pretty much sculpt them into anything you want them to be. So, again, it'll be interesting to see what becomes of Lonnie Walker. But I think his ceiling is way, way up there. They also draft Chimezie Metu in the draft. And then they actually signed Marco Bellinelli as well, who's a good offensive player. He'll probably be one of their first people off the bench, or he'll start a shooting guard for him, depending on if Kawhi plays or not. At this point, I don't think he will play, and I think he'll be coming off the bench to start some of their younger players, but we'll see. He's a very good all-around player. And they re-signed a lot of very important players as well. They re-signed Rudy Gay, who played a big role for them last year, and he'll play a big role for them this year as kind of their, not really sixth man, but maybe second man off the bench. They re-signed Davis Bertans as well, and Brian Forbes. So 2 more players that, have talent and are definitely going to help the Spurs off the bench. Although looking at subtractions, first they lost Joffrey Laverne. He went back overseas. He was a decent big man. I know he played for the Thunder for a year. I don't know where else he played, but he was a decent all-around player. But I don't think it'll be that big of a loss. Davis Bertans is a much better big man. But then they lost Tony Parker to my home team, the Charlotte Hornets. And, I don't know how to feel about this for the Spurs because, he really has been a Spur for life. And I thought he would remain a Spur for life. But, the Hornets offered him something the Spurs cannot, and that is to be the backup on the team because, Tony Parker probably wouldn't even have made the rotation because I still think Manu at this stage might have a little bit more offensive potential than Tony. But it'll be interesting to see because, Tony's always been a very good passer, very good drive player, but he's very good at making fancy layups. So, again, we'll just have to see how he does. But, this is a big loss for the Spurs in terms of, losing a staple piece of the franchise. Anyways, looking at their potential lineup, DeJounte Murray is going to be taking over the point guard position from Tony Parker now. Again, I have Derek White starting at the shooting guard. This is assuming that Kawhi does not re-sign or does not play for them because he's already said that he's going to sit out this year. So that's the case. I think they'll start Derek White again. It's also the case they could start Lonnie Walker and Marco, but I think they'll go with Derek White. Danny Green at the small forward. He actually accepted his player option, so he's back for another year. LaMarcus Aldridge at the power forward and Pau Gasol at the center. And then I have Kawhi Leonard with a little star next to him because, again, he'll be starting at that small forward position, but we have no idea if he's playing. I'm just going to go ahead and say that he's not, and he'll be traded before the offseason's over. Again, I really do not know exactly what's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. And then off the bench, of course, Greg Popovich likes to utilize all his parts, so we have Patty Mills, a really good scoring point guard. held by Rudy Gay, Marco Bellinelli, the rookie Lonnie Walker, Manu Ginobili, he'll probably get a couple minutes, and Davis Bertans. So the thing that I'd say to look out for this team, I know that a lot of people probably think it's going to be something about Kawhi Leonard, but the thing I'm going to look out for is the evolution of DeJounte Murray. Now, DeJounte Murray has been a very decent player over his career, and now he finally has the reins to take over for Tony Parker. And it's going to be an interesting thing to watch. He's a decent jump shooter, but he's a very good floor spacer and a very good driving kick-out type of player. And he that's kind of what Tony Parker was. And it'll be interesting to see again if he'll become a main scoring option on the team or if he'll just become the main facilitator. But, I think Spurs fans should still be excited because DeJounte Murray has a lot of potential, and it's going to be fun to watch him. Anyways, guys, it's been the JTNBA Report, and I will see you guys next time for my 13th ranked team and my 2018 through 2019 NBA season preview. I'll see you guys then.